Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wants Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that's using their sexuality to clout chase or climb a certain social ladder. There are goals that they have. In order to reach them, they feel like they have to build a really strong network. And so they're working to it feels like they're working to seduce people that they think can take them to the top. So, it'll be a fun reading. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Snow is melting over here, which is great. No longer stuck in my house, which is awesome. But it's been crazy. Hopefully you guys haven't had too much weird crap going on with the weather, but it's kind of been all over the country. So I don't know. Hello there, Dr. Strangelove. Hello, Peggy. How are you? Hello, Healing Frequencies. How we doing? I love that you say aloha. Makes me feel a little bit warmer, even though it's still pretty cold. We're going to have like a high of like 65 next week, though, you guys. So I'm just like holding on until next week, which is really not that difficult. All right. This is the signs of the times. We have number 36, the power lines, and number 35, the knot, which is about relationships, and this is about energy. Oh, so many things coming through. So I can't tell you too terribly much, but power lines remind me of a person. And oddly enough, the person that this reminds me of is definitely associated with some perception around like clout chasing and how we act in a community where we feel like we have power or influence. And I'll just say, I didn't necessarily have the best perception of how that was handled. It felt like manipulation in a way, right? Like the power lines themselves are conducting that electricity, right? But their arms are controlling the direction that they go. So I feel like we have somebody here that is aware of the power that they carry. And it can be kind of electric to be in their presence. So this could be somebody that is like an athlete, a musician, an established politician, whatever it is. They have power, they know it, and other people know it, right? And so there are relationships that come into this person's life as a result of that power, people that want to have some of that power for themselves or want to be close to it, right? So the other thing is we have numbers 36 and then number 35. And I do think that there is something to be said here for the regression, right? Going back one number, I do feel like somebody is, it's like I'm picturing Chutes and Ladders, the game. I feel like somebody's trying to take a shortcut here because they don't want to do the real work. They don't want to work on themselves to be who they're supposed to be or have something that sets them up for a good lifestyle. Instead, they're hoping to find somebody else that has figured out what they're supposed to do and just kind of like latch on, right? All right, let's get some tarot going. We're going to go with the Marigold Tarot. I also think it's kind of funny that I'm wearing, I don't wear this often, but it says Patron on it. Used to be a big fan of tequila. I think I found this at like Goodwill or something. But the other meaning of Patron would be like fatherly figure, supportive. It could be like somebody who like actually facilitates or supports somebody in their ventures or their projects, right? So I do feel like we have somebody that could have a decent amount of money in addition to some influence or power, right? So there's this dream that somebody has, something that they want to start, something that they want to get good at, something that they want to do, but they feel held back, like they can't actually achieve what they want to achieve. They feel like they're missing something. With the sun in the reverse, There's a couple things coming through. Number one, I don't know how I could be happy unless I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing or unless I'm living the life I'm supposed to be living. So very like singular focus on how life should be, which I have to say is a little bit dangerous. If you want to maximize the chances that you enjoy your life, have a wide perspective of what happiness looks like. You don't have to focus or like detail everything. Like I know everybody wants to do like a vision board and like identify what they want to manifest into their life, and that's cool. But you also have to have some level of openness, right? Hey, my life decided to take this turn. I'm going to change my career, or I'm going to like move somewhere, or I'm going to like start a business, whatever it is. If you're open to those things, you're going to be happier in the long run, right? I like it, Dr. Strangelove. So we have somebody that I think is very focused on how things should be or how they want to live. They're not really willing to negotiate on that. So it could make them like willing to throw people under a bus, for example, right? If you're standing between me and that ice cream cone that I want, I will push you out of the way. That kind of energy, right? So this person feels like somebody else has the limelight or has the sun, right? Because they don't. So they'll go where people or towards people that have what they want to get what they want. We have the Fool and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse with, I'm sorry, in the upright with Justice in the reverse. It kind of feels like this sense of using someone is bidirectional, like it goes both ways. We've got somebody who wants to clout chase, but we also have somebody in a position of power that knows that they can use that power to get what they want. So it feels almost symbiotic. But let's just also call out when you have power over someone, when there's a power dynamic difference, like student and teacher, for example, things get a little bit complicated in terms of morality. So even though this person who has power influence might like to think, oh, I'm just like attractive and that's why ladies throw themselves at me or men throw themselves at me, whatever they might want to delude themselves into thinking, there is some level here of like manipulation that I think they would like to pretend they're innocent of. They are not. They lean into it, right? Like, oh, well, if these are the benefits of being who I am, then I'm going to, enjoy, right? Like in my mind, what I'm seeing is back when I used to fly all the time, and like had rewards and all of that crap, I used to stay, like hang out before flights in the lounges. And that's like lush, okay? Like love it, quieter, free food, better stuff, whatever you want to say, right? Charge my phone, blah, 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 comfortable seating. But it comes at a price. Like there's a different type of people you surround yourself with, right? I feel like we have somebody here that doesn't necessarily reflect honestly on who they are as a person. I think they justify a lot of their actions just because they don't want to deal with who's actually staring back at them in the mirror. So whoever this clout chaser is, this is indeed somebody that's attractive. This is somebody who could use their looks to get in the door, right? To get a chance. That's how I'm seeing this rose. There's something alluring, attractive, magnetic, and they're trying to use that, right, on this person who has power. But it's funny because the way this is coming through to me is comical. For those of you that don't know, I have a deep love and appreciation for the I Love Lucy show. Like, legitimately watch it every other day. It's usually just like kind of in the background as I'm like falling asleep or whatever. So the way I'm saying this, if you know that show, you know that Lucy was always trying to find a way to like act alongside, sing alongside, meet, or like steal the cement handprints of movie stars, like super obsessed with the movie stars, right? And she would do impulsive things in order to get what she wanted. She would lie. She would put on like masks or costumes. So I feel like there's something here about this clout chaser being a bit impulsive or willing to go the extra mile. Like they do some crazy things, right? They might be doing whatever they can to be famous on like Instagram or TikTok, trying to be like more outrageous than the last one, you know, that kind of thing. This person is obsessed. How do I get fame? How do I have a rich lifestyle? How do I make it? We have the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Swords in the reverse with the Chariot. I think we have almost like two different situations, right? The person who has the power and the influence and the person who's clout chasing, each of them, I think, is involved in something that like blows up in their face, right? So we might have like a long-standing relationship or a business partnership become particularly frustrating for the person with power and influence, and for the person who's more of a clout chaser, they may be particularly broke or particularly frustrated in terms of not getting the fame or whatever fortune that they're looking for. So I feel like there's this like impulsiveness that comes through from both of them because they are frustrated in their separate situations, right? Hello there, Clarence. How are you doing? Butterflies are a good sign for sure. Peggy, I agree. So I feel like it's like if I get in an argument in my relationship and you get in an argument in your relationship, and then we like run into each other's arms to like lament or complain about it, right? There's something here about frustrations pushing these two closer together, or like speeding up a connection. So it's like somebody who maybe was clawing and trying to find their way into this like cool scene or this cool community of people, all of a sudden has like a window that they can crawl through, right? And like get in, and they're going to take advantage. Let's switch to a different tarot deck. The other one I was debating using is the Pulp Tarot, so we're just going to go right there. I love this, and I feel like there's something stylistically appropriate about this selection for this reading. Two of Wands in the reverse. Interesting. Ace of Wands, Two of Wands in the reverse. Kind of makes me feel like somebody has like a good plan or a good dream, a good goal, but it gets like perverted or twisted, or it becomes so important that you're willing to sacrifice who you are as a person, right? If you have a dream, if you have like a plan of how you want to build a life for yourself, and that requires you selling a piece of your soul or compromising on your morals, like really think about that. Really think about why something that you feel drawn to do as a purpose would have you go through something like that, right? I think we all have little like signs along the highway telling us we're getting close to that right journey, right? Or that right destination. Sometimes you get off on the wrong exit, right? And you go the wrong way, and little clues for you should be, oh, I have to like sacrifice things that are important to me in order to get what I want. That's probably not the right thing. This person didn't pay attention to those signs. They're like, oh, so I have to lie and cheat and steal to get what I want? Okay, I can do that. Other people have done it too. So they're ignoring, with the High Priestess in the reverse, they're ignoring those little signs. They're ignoring their intuition. They're in a place that they aren't very familiar with. Now, that could literally mean I have moved elsewhere and I don't know the streets, I don't know the neighborhoods, I don't know where my favorite Chinese restaurant is. Whatever it is, this person is new, right? I don't know a lot of people in the community. I don't know how people do things here. You know, any community you enter, whether it's like a book club or I don't know, film industry people, whatever it is, there's going to be like unwritten rules and like hierarchies and weird shit, right? This person doesn't get that quite yet. I think they really do feel like it's all glitz and glam right now. They're not being honest about the things they've had to sacrifice or what it's like, the toll it's actually taking. All right. I'm going to take these. Even though I only wanted 3. But we have the Ace of Swords. That's interesting. 8 of Wands in the reverse. Because we have the 8 of Wands in the upright right here. So we're like clarifying it with the opposite, right? Knight of Swords in the reverse. 7 of Wands. Feels to me like a little bit of desperation. Feels to me like we have somebody who isn't being completely honest. The movie that's coming to mind is Lost in Translation. I don't know if you've seen that. It's been a while for me, but that kind of tracks with the idea of somebody being in a community where they don't really, like, they're different. They don't know everything there yet, right? They're still trying to figure it out. And I feel like there's this like clinging to whoever shows them some attention or a chance. So there's like an impulsive invitation or an impulsive like, yeah, I'll meet you for a drink or whatever it is, when there are some warning signs here. Somebody has the responsibility to like think ahead and protect themselves. And I feel like they're just throwing caution to the wind because they're so focused on, you know, I'd really like to be famous though. It sounds like 8 different movies that I've seen, like, to be honest. Just, whatever. I just feel like doing this, so I'm going to, right? Hello there, Echo. How are you doing? Hello, Joanna. Hello, Southeast Divine. Oh, well, excellent. Welcome, welcome. It's a pretty good movie, don't you think, Peggy? If I haven't, no, I think I have told you guys, but not that you watch every single video I do. My favorite thing about that movie has nothing to do with the actual like plot. When I was staying in Mexico, I went to the little corner store. Obviously, this was a long ass time ago. They had a movie poster for that movie hanging up on the like outside of the store. And obviously, being in Mexico, they weren't like putting that in English. They had it in Spanish. And the way they put the title on that poster was Perdido en Tokio, which is Lost in Tokyo. But the movie's name is Lost in Translation. So it's literally Lost in Translation, which I think is just, I don't know. Can I call that meta or like ironic? What do I summarize that as? Because I just think that's kind of amazing. So I laughed outside of the gas station or like convenience store like a weirdo for a couple minutes. All right, we have the King of Wands, King of Cups in the reverse, and the 8 of Cups. That's the problem with this potential partnership or this duo. Somebody's like hanging all of their hopes on this person, like lifting them up, right? Like if you're standing on stage and I'm like 3 feet below you and you hand me your hand to like lift me up, like I could probably get up there, right? Like this person's depending on someone to pull them up. But this King of Wands, notice I don't have any idea what he looks like. He's just a shadow. This is somebody who doesn't let anybody in. You don't get to know my regrets if I have any. You don't get to know my pains if I have any. You don't even maybe get to know if you piss me off. I'm just going to like up and leave one day. 8 of Cups. This person does not let anybody in. King of Cups in the reverse. I am not emotionally mature. I don't want to let you know if I'm upset. I don't want to let you know if I'm excited. I don't even want to let you know if I think you're cool. I'm literally just going to play it cool and keep everybody out there, right? It's a good plan, but it rarely goes well. It's not even a good plan. You can't keep everyone out. You just can't. Unless you have a really cool volleyball that you want to talk to for the rest of your life. Wilson. Show of hands for people that didn't get that reference. Yeah, I mean, that's fair though. Your name is Dr. Strangelove, so if you were like not a shadow, I would be confused. 10 of Swords in the reverse, the Tower, and the Sun. So remember we had the Sun in the reverse, right? Somebody felt like they couldn't get what they wanted to get. I'm not going to lie. I don't like this trio at all. And it's strange for me because the Sun is the happiest card out of all 78 cards in a tarot deck. The Sun is the happiest card. However, it feels to me like somebody is so focused on getting to what they want, this image of life in Glamourland or whatever it is, that they are willing to do like the most, right? Because 10 of Swords in the reverse, I will quite often see this as like recovery or healing over time, right? Not this time. It's paired with the Tower, my friends. That's like, I'm gonna do something and I'm pretty sure it's unforgivable. Not even like, oops, I did something unforgivable. Going into it, you know it's unforgivable, but you justify it because you get what you want. So this is such a weird image, you guys. This little dude hanging out on the little horse. I feel like this is because somebody feels like they're going places. That's just stationary, my friend. That's not going anywhere. You might think that you have launched yourself into some sort of like celebrity or fame or wealth or success, but this is not going anywhere. Your intentions matter, you know? I don't think this person realizes that, whoever the clout chaser is. All right, let's get a few from the Kipper, because if we know anything about the Kipper is a little brutal. So let me see what that has to. What did I tell you? What are we focused on? How do I get rich quick? Who do I have to bone around here to get some money? Literally. Don't sound clip that shit. This is like, I don't care how I do it, but I'm going to be rich. I'm going to figure it out. I don't like that. These are just like not really that great of people, to be honest. Like, I hope I'm not insulting my direct audience, because this feels more like these are people you know. But I'm willing to go whatever distances I have to be rich, is what this says. That bad health, that could be like, I'm willing to like work myself into the ground. I'm not taking it that way in this particular reading, right? This particular reading seems to be more so like, I don't care who I literally have to throw under a bus. I don't care who has to lose their job. I don't care who has to lose their marriage. I don't care anything, right? This is just what I want. And that journey card makes me feel like specifically we're talking about the lengths that somebody would be willing to go to. I think this suggests this person has their ways. If they don't have their own money, they have family connections, or I used to work with you, or I don't know, like they have ways. It's like very Heartbreakers, right? Wasn't that the movie with Sigourney Weaver? So by the way, we had numbers 11, 31, and 10. Now we have 9, 14, and 5. This came out in the reverse. I'm going to leave it in the reverse. I think the Journey card came out in the reverse too, honestly. So it kind of makes me feel like somebody hasn't quite done the thing that they're willing to do. So we have somebody that is changing location. This could be a planned vacation, a planned, extended trip. It could be quite literally like picking up and moving. But there is a sense here that there's like a temporary absence, or I'm going to see you again, but you're not here right now. And then we have this message of concern underneath the bad health. What I really feel is we either have somebody that is willing to hurt other people, which please protect yourself. Be conscious that there are people out there that are willing to do crazy things. Or this is somebody who's willing to fake that they have issues, right? Like, oh, I have to get a surgery. Could you give me $600? There's a message of concern here, and the goal behind it has to do with money. But with Mature Man in the reverse, it feels to me like this leads to an argument of some sort. We're going to go with the Black Tarot. Five of Wands. I said it leads to an argument. The next card that comes out is Five of Wands. This talks about, it could be competition, but generally I would say this is an argument. Most often you see this card depicting people with wands that are literally engaged in battle, right? Here we have a little bit darker scene. It looks like these wands are a little bit more spear-like to me. Yes. I would not be surprised, Peggy. Twin flame karmics are the best, aren't they? This is a big argument. Five of Wands, Ten of Swords. This could be somebody overstepping their bounds. You took something that wasn't yours. I think that's it, to be honest. I think somebody took something that wasn't theirs. So, for example, if this person's hanging out with somebody who's wealthy and they see an unsupervised $10,000 watch, they pocket it. It's something along those lines. They do something where it's just obvious. You were going after the money. You didn't think I would notice, and now I do. Strength in the reverse, a temptation, a weakness. I thought I could walk past that, or I thought I could not do that, but it was just too tempting. Did I say hi to Paul? Is it Polly or Paul? Well, hello. Either way. Did I miss anyone else? Oh, that's rough. Okay. So, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Two of Wands in the reverse. We had that over here. Three of Wands in the reverse. So there's a lot of fire energy in this reading. There's a pretty strong chance that we have somebody with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in their chart here. But we could also just point out that when you're dealing with power, somebody like this King of Wands, right, generally requires that focus, that drive. I wouldn't be surprised if there was fire energy backing that up, right? But to get both the 2 and the 3 of Wands in the reverse, this is like, oh, so that thing I did without thinking, where I was just kind of like, you know, that was maybe not a good idea. Like, maybe somebody was inebriated. Maybe they were not fully awake. Maybe they were distracted somehow. Like, I'm on the phone and I just decide to randomly steal thousands of dollars. I don't know. They did something though, and it's like, you can claim all day that you didn't expect things to blow up in your face. But like, what did you expect? Like, if you sneeze into an ashtray, do you expect it to get dirty? Because you sneezed into an ashtray. Went everywhere. So the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, this is like you're changing your fate for the worst, or for the worse, right? Like, too much focus on the short term and not enough appreciation for the long term, right? I'm willing to risk everything that I'm working towards for like a nice bottle of champagne or a cute purse, you know, like it's not smart. But it makes sense if we think about clout chasers, right? So you have 3 of Cups in the reverse. The Fool in the reverse. Nine of Cups. Okay, so this is interesting because I just realized the other night I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley. If you haven't seen that movie, feel free to just like ignore the next couple of seconds here. Hello there, Tiana. How we doing? The Talented Mr. Ripley is a good movie. It was very well acted, in my opinion, and had some good peeps, right? But the main idea is you have very much so got a clout chaser in that movie who like clings, right? And I'm not going to give away too much of the movie just in case you haven't seen it. But there are decisions that were made in haste or things that were like impulsively chosen that I think the main character should have thought about a little bit more, right? Like slip-ups. Like, there's a community in that movie, much like what I'm seeing here. There are people that have seen this clout chaser for who they really are now. That initially were, oh, aren't you cute? You know? So distracted by what they really wanted and thinking they were getting close to it, this clout chaser kind of forgot all of the other surroundings, right? It's maybe useful for certain things to wear blinders, okay? Like horses needed on the highway. I don't know. But this person wore blinders to try to like excuse their flaws or their shortcomings. But all they did was blind themselves to the things that were going to eventually cause their own ruin. falling out, because I feel like this is bigger than just the King of Wands. I feel like there's other people that have seen what happened here and they're not cool with it. 6 of Spheres in the reverse. This is another card that talks about loss. And we have Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, clarified by the 6 of Spheres, or 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is talking about a decision that was made that has pretty serious consequences, and it was a loss. 2 of Spheres or 2 of Pentacles, having to do with somebody that wanted to deal with financial issues or create stability out of instability. So as most people would do, all right, well, if you're going to treat me that way, if you're going to try to use me, or if you're going to betray me that way, whatever it was, I'm going to dispense of you. Like, you don't need to be in my life. I have plenty of other people, which may or may not reflect a movie I was just talking about, you know? Somebody's going to get told this isn't working out. Let's get a few from the situations deck, and then I think we'll call it a day. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tiana. I try to appreciate that some people don't watch things as soon as they come out, because I was totally that type. I loved Harry Potter books, and I got kind of frustrated with the obsession with Harry Potter getting so big with the movies that I didn't watch the movies for a while. I didn't want to be a part of that whole thing, right? And then people would talk about them and potentially ruin the movies. So I try not to do that, you know? Did I say hi to Redbeard? Hello, Redbeard. How we doing? Hi, Drew. How are you? Ooh. All right. So we have children, young, childhood, playful. This to me, honestly, just makes me feel like we have an age difference between the clout chaser and the power individual. Again, it just kind of feels like there's somebody here who's like, oh, you're cute. I'll play with you for a little while. Nothing serious though, right? And then the emotion card here feels to me more like anger, frustration, like you've overstepped your bounds, or you're doing too much. Okay. So we have somebody getting a little bit more than just a slap on the wrist. This is yeah, you're cut off. I'm good on that. So I hope you enjoy the reading. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the amazing commentary in the live chat. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the next reading.